In this video, I'm going to teach you guys how to play Scholar in my ways, and so what are we waiting for? Let's get this started. Let's talk about her abilities. One of my favorite is going to be Q, and so if you guys press Q, you guys going to throw the orb like this, and then if you guys press Q again, it's going to teleport where you threw. And the cooldown is really short, so that's why it's really good. So Q again, and then Q again, and then it teleports just like that. And then after you guys do that, try pressing LMB after Q, Q, and then LMB. You guys can add an extra skill like that, and then it can be also part of your movement skill. Try this one as well, which is going to be Q, Q, and spacebar, and that is the best way to give a knockdown to the enemy just like that for PvP. Or in PvE, just gives a nice good damage and combo, so that's what you guys can do right there. So Q, Q, LMB, or aggressive position will be QQ and then spacebar. They give them a knockdown. And she has some really good skills, and the best part for PvP is that she has several knockdowns. And so the most important one is Shift E. It has a range grab, literally teleports to them and then give them a knockdown, so it's very powerful. After that, if you guys hold down F, that can be also a knockdown right there, and it's really good because it actually gives you guys a debuff and then also give them a knockdown, so that can be like a second CC and give more combos afterwards. So something that can be tricky with her is probably understanding her flow skills. So there are 7 flow skills that you guys need to understand, and in order to figure this out, all you guys have to do is just hover this skill right here, and then it says hold RMB after hammer strike. So let's go type where hammer strike is. So hammer strike is right here, and so we're going to find hammer strike right here. And then it's just RMB. So if you hold RMB, then we can use this flow skill, which is also RMB. So if you just hold down RMB, for example, we're going to use those 2 skills just like that. Also, this has a floating skills, and so if they ever happen to get a land with that, and then if they get floated, you guys know what to do, which is holding down F for a second knockdown, for example. And then let's talk about next skill. It's going to be this flow skill, which is golden trajectory. If you hold down E, going to use those 2 skills just like that. And then the next one is going to be golden vines, which is F that we just talked about. So it's going to be drop kick, and so that's the one that actually has the knockdown right here. And then all you guys have to do is hold down F. So right now, so far we learned is holding RMB, holding E, and then holding F. So far so good. Next we have hammer down, so we need to find hammer down. So hammer down right here, which is W+RMB, and then it's going to tell us hold down RMB afterwards. Just like that. Next we have golden blocking, and then we need to hold E after hammer in the knee. So this is a skill right here, and then WE and then holding E. Just like that. And then this one actually has a knockdown, so it's very nice for second CC as well, or the first one, whatever you want to do. Next we have this flow skill, which is golden skyfall, which is going to be SF during the hammer throw. So if you find hammer throw, it's going to be this one, and so it's going to be SF, and then just SF, hold it down, and then see what happens. And then boom, it uses those 2 abilities just like that. And then lastly, we have this skill called golden wave. In order to use this ability, we have to use gravity field. In order to use gravity field, we just press down RMB and then hold down RMB again. And then it uses those 2 abilities just like that. So those are some flow skills that you guys have to practice. It's not too bad, right? As you guys can see, like if you guys just hold down RMB, it uses those 2 abilities. But those 2 abilities does not have any protection, so you guys want to be careful for PvP on that. And then if you hold down E, the second one has a front guard, and then the first one does not. And so that's also risky to use during the PvP match. And then lastly, we have F, which is if you give them a first knockdown, which is grabbing them, Shift E, and then do some combos, and then after that for second knockdown, just holding down F, and then it gives them a debuff and then give them a second CC like that. And so that's what I would do right there in that situation. After we learn flow skills, let's talk about more other abilities that she has. So let's talk about some buffs that she can get. For example, if you hold down E, and then we get melee AP 24, which is skill right here, hammer punch. And so you guys want to activate this as much as you guys can during PvE or PvP even, and then get yourself a free 24 AP. That's a lot of AP. And then after that, if you guys do WE, it's gonna do that skill, and then it's gonna give you guys attack speed of 15%. And so what you guys can do here, for example, can be like E and then WE. You and get you guys self a quick buff of attack speed 15% and melee AP 24. And then if you guys want more defense, try this skill, which is going to be WF. And then if you guys do so, you guys can get yourself of all AP plus 20 right there as well. And then we have E buff right here, particle acceleration. We have to put in a hotkey. So for me, I put in a tab, for example. So if I activate this, and then it gives me, you know, all this kind of buff right here. All AP plus 30, all accuracy plus 20, and then all DP plus 40. We also have this skill called Core Fusion, and it will give us all DP plus 20. So the smooth way to use this would be something like combo-wise is going to be WF and then pressing C afterwards. And then boom, just like that, he has a super armor, and then he also gives you guys all DP plus 20. And so yeah, you guys can use something like that to self buff for DP. Now let's talk about some debuff skills. So we have one skill right here, which is called Hammer Smash. If you guys use this ability, it gives the enemy all DP minus 25. And then in order to use this ability, it's going to be Shift+LMB. Boom, just like that. As you guys can see right here underneath their HP, now they are debuffed with all these beautiful skills. And so you guys can use that for debuffing, for example, in that scenario. Another debuff skill that they have is going to be Potential Energy right here from main skill. And in order to use this ability, it's going to be SE. And then if you use this ability, it gives them a debuff of attack casting speed of minus 20% on 5 seconds. And then one of my favorite debuffing skill for PvP is going to be Golden Vines right here, which is holding down F after dropkick. And then it gives them an all DP minus 25. And so for example, let's say that we can do a combo like this, which is Q, Q, and then spacebar. That will give them a first knockdown and then do some kind of combo. And then after that, before they stand back up, just hold down F and then give them a second CC with a debuff, just like that in that scenario. So what you guys need to understand is how to give the first CC, right? So another first example that I just said was QQ and then spacebar. That's another good way to give them a CC. If not, then, you know, start running around and then try to think about what other things that you guys can do, which is Shift E, which is grabbing right there. That can be another strategy of giving them a first CC. And then if you guys remember, WE and holding down E also gives them a knockdown, just like that, right? And so those are 3 strategy ideas that I gave you guys to give like a first knockdown, for example, in that scenario. So when we do QQ and then LMB, the third skill is going to be called Repulsion right here. And so it says there's some multiple ways to do so to use this ability, which is using LMB after attraction. And so the attraction was the QQ. And so if you press QQ and then LMB, that's one way to use Repulsion. And then the second way would be using like Home Run or Hammer Down or Hammer Rush. So Home Run is down LMB, which is going to be this skill. So if you do down LMB and then hold LMB, you can do that as well, just like that. Or we can use Hammer Down, which is W+RMB, and then pressing LMB just like that. Or we can use Hammer Rush, which is right here, which is WC, and then pressing LMB after that. And so those are some 3 things that you guys can do as well in that scenario. And then there's 3 more skills that we can do to use Repulsion again, which is going to be One Small Step, which is WF right here. And then pressing LMB just like that. Or we have Gravity Blink, which is literally just movement skill, which is left or right shift, and then pressing LMB to use that ability like that. Or we have Reversal right here, which is going to be down shift, and then it's going to go backwards, and then we can press LMB to come back just like that. So there are many ways to use, you know, Repulsion. So what you guys need to do is just practice and then kind of figure out what you guys want to do in that scenario. And so this is only 5 seconds cooldown too, so it's really nice skill that you guys can add all the time. And so just try to, you know, memorize what you guys want to do and just go from there after lots of practice. So now let's talk about her movement skills. So thing is, she does not have anything forward teleporting. She only has the Gravity Blink and Reversal, which is going to be A shift or S shift going backwards like that, or, you know, D shift like that. But she does have a lot of like forward skills. For example, we can do QQ, LMB. We have Shift Q as well, which is going to be this skill to go forward. We have WF to go there. And then we have WE to go a little bit just like that. And then get ourselves a attack speed. And then we can also turn around our mouse like this and then do S shift. And then holding down S shift, which is going to use the flow skill, which is Gravity Storm, just like that right there in that scenario. And then don't forget that we have also Hammer Rush, which is like dashing up like that. So, you know, just keep practicing what you guys have right there. And a friendly reminder for new BDO players, if you're still not too sure and are kind of confused which ability or what you guys can do is click right here, click cooldown slots, and then you guys can like basically put a note. So for example, I said all this is movement skill right here. So we're gonna go find that skill right here right now. I found reversal, and in order to use this ability was Shift plus S, right? And then we can do that and then press enter. And then if you press enter, now you guys can see it on your screen like this, for example. But then now you just need to make a little room. So that way you guys can kind of figure out what the ability is. So like that. So now it says Shift S, and so we can use that ability. And then if you guys hold down Shift S still, then it uses those two abilities. And so yeah, if this gonna help you guys to learn your class, go for it. And then once you guys got hang of it, now you guys can go back there and then basically got rid of the notes. And then yeah, just go from there. And then press enter. Now it disappeared. And then now I can make myself, you know, a line for movement skill right here. And then just going from there. So once again, we have WF, WE, WC, and then Shift Q, and then S, Shift, and then holding those, we'll use that flow skill just like that. And so there's a lot of 4 movement skills. So once again, WF, W+RMB, WC, Shift Q, WE for little dash, and then turn around, and then Shift S. And then Shift S and hold it to use those 2 abilities. Don't forget the QQ-LMB, for example, too. And then if you guys put this in a hotkey, which is gravity press, and then you guys can go and become a ball, and then press LMB to smash down just like that. And then once you guys muscle memory all those skills, like which skills are up, then you guys can basically just use whatever is available for you guys, right? Just using this, QQ-LMB. Oh, I still got Shift Q, so I'll use Shift Q, WF, WC, WE, Shift, right? Shift S, stuff like that. And she can literally move all day as long as she has her stamina. And then they added skill enhancements for her, and so let's talk about this right now. So we have Gravity Crush, so that's just a lot of AoE damage. Or you guys can be aggressive and then use Gravity Rush, and then he basically dashes into the enemy just like that. So this is another great way to engage to the enemy, and then it actually gives them a stiffness too, right? So if they actually land the CC, then what you guys can do is like holding down, you know, and give yourself a first knockdown like that. And so I think it's a really good for PvP right here. And then PvE, I would use Gravity Crush. Next, we have Golden Barrier and then Golden Path. Personally, I like Super Armor for PvP because if you guys use like forward guard and then if they're behind you, you can still get knocked down when you're using this ability. And so the safest bet would be Super Armor. But just keep in mind that you can still get damage and hurt. And then they can also grab you in that situation. So yeah, but for PvP, maybe I would use Golden Path. PvE, I would maybe use forward guard because when they're attacking you, and if you use forward guard, you can actually block the damage from the mobs. And then we have these 2 skills. In order to use these 2 skills, you guys actually have to put in a hotkey. For example, I put it on number 3 for myself. And then this one is Golden Boon. And then this one is Gravity Distortion. So Golden Boon, if you guys activate this, it nullifies attack movement speed reduction effects for 30 seconds, which is really nice for PvP. And then if you guys want more damage, then this is where it's at, Gravity Distortion. So PvP, I would use this. And then PvE, I would use Gravity Distortion, like this one right here. Gravity Distortion also has a debuff for, you know, attack casting speed for like 30 seconds, 10 seconds. So it's actually not bad for PvP too, but it just really depends what you guys want and your playstyle. And yeah, just go from there. Guess what time it is? It's time for combos. I'll slow down the video, so just keep watching and enjoy the show. So once again, we start with our QQ and then spacebar, and hopefully that we land the CC on our first knockdown. And if they do so, then we want to start with Shift F, give some little damage, and then press F, and then hold F for dropkick and debuffing them. Shift+RMB, and then hold RMB after that for flow skill, and then end them with the hammer spin, which is Shift C. And then just use one of the movement skill to back out, for example, like that. you're guys gonna say, what if the first CC doesn't work, Woo? Well, this is another scenario you guys can do, which is spacebar, spacebar, spacebar. Okay, so yeah. But then now you guys gonna be asking, what if the first CC didn't work? So for example, if you guys did QQ and the spacebar and that didn't knock him down, super easy, guys. All you have to do is come this close and then Shift E. And then that'll be your first knockdown, and then do the same combo what I taught you guys. So let's say that I'm just gonna go close with my QQ here. And then I'm just gonna grab this guy and then pretend that will be my first CC. Just like that. So if you guys watch my other tutorial videos, I usually say for PvP, try to do like movement skill, movement skill. So for her, it's gonna be gravity blink, which is going to be using this one, which is, you know, A or D shift, and then using some kind of a, you know, super armor or forward guard skill. So for example, we can do like Shift+RMB after blinking. Like that, and then move again. But 3 seconds is actually really long. It's usually 2 seconds for iframe, but 3 seconds is really long. So what you guys can do is actually adding the attraction. And so what we can do, for example, here is gravity blink, Shift+RMB, and then after that's done, press QQ. So that way you guys can have a smooth like transition wise, and so you guys don't have that, you know, awkward 3 seconds waiting time. Because if you guys do it too early, you won't get any iframes when you use it again, right? Just like that. Guys won't get any iframes. So what you guys want to do is use this once, and then use some kind of ability, and then QQ. Boom, just like that. And then spacebar is really recommended because, you know, they give the knockdown. So what you guys want to do is do something like that when you're playing her. And then QQ, spacebar. If it lands a shot, good. If not, move again, right? And then Shift+LMB this time, and then move again, and then QQ. Whatever, stuff like that. So you guys have to do like movement skill like that. So yeah, that's my advice for you guys. So once again, gravity blink, and then Shift+RMB, something like that, super armor, and then QQ until my, you know, gravity blink is up. Now it's up, so we can use it again, right? And then use some kind of other abilities. So here are some ideas that I can put for you guys. So gravity blink first, and then you guys can use any of this ability that has like super armor, forward guard. If you guys just use forward guard, make sure you guys are using it in front of them, not behind them, or else you're gonna get smacked, right? Unless you're using super armor, just be careful. They might counter it with, you know, grabs or something like that. And so that's just another friendly reminder for you guys for PvP. But once again, gravity blink, use some kind of a skill, and then after that you guys want to use the movement 2 skill, which is the QQ. And then if you guys can land the spacebar, go for it, right? And then if they're close, then they can get CC'd. If not, you guys can also press LMB just for movement skill, and then after that use some kind of skill again, and then go back to gravity blink, and then skill this, that, this, that, this, that, this, that, this, that. Makes sense? So don't spam gravity blink. Use it once at least, and then use ability, and then gravity, you know, QQ baby. That is where it's at for Scholar. So understanding this mechanic and studying and practicing this can be a little bit tricky for PvP players, but once you guys get the hang of it, you guys will be golden. And so yeah, that's the stuff that I wanted to talk about, guys. Study all the super armors. You know, you guys can literally go gravity grip and then go for grabs too, right? After gravity blink, or, you know, QQ spacebar and then grab it. That's also another good strategy. Stuff like that. You guys can make your own ideas for PvP. That's why what this game makes really fun is you make your own combos, own ideas. But my easiest way for you guys to play Scholar for PvP would be like gravity blink, ability, and then use QQ, ability, right? And then come back to gravity blink since it's a 3 seconds cooldown. And so yeah, that's it with this one. Another quick tip for you guys: if you're new to BDO, just click the skill filter right here, and then click super armor or forward guard, right? It literally tells you all the abilities that you guys can use for ideas for movement skill reference. And so yeah. And then lastly, really cool about awakening skills is that they actually have a selected skills. And so, you know, if you guys want more knockdowns, you guys can use this ability right here, these two. Or if you guys want to bound, then yeah, Infinity Power has it, One Giant Leap, Hammerfall has it as well. So yeah, personally, I will maybe go for knockdowns, so that way you guys can have more knockdowns if you guys want. Like Hammer Smash, it has a forward guard, but then this knockdown only has it on PvP. If you guys hover it, it says PvE only. And so if you guys use this right here and select the skills, now it works for PvP. So I'll show you guys, for example, right here quickly. And then after that, if you press Shift+LMB right now, no CC whatsoever. But if you use this ability now, it's going to give them a CC once I activate this. And now, boom. And then at the end, now he has a knockdown. So now you guys can have another strategy of, you know, having more knockdown options like that. And that is it with my part 1 video. Hopefully you guys learned something, and hopefully I gave you guys some good advice. If so, like and subscribe, and hopefully that I will make some more videos like this one. Alrighty, I'll catch you guys next time. Ciao for now.